So you're going to need a couple of tools. I would grab a chair, just in case, a stability ball. It can be medium-sized or big. You'll need kind of a bath towel, kind of folded into a little square. You're going to need your Schroff pads, so preferably 2 of your rectangular pads, a maybe medium-sized band, your stool, a pillow, and then I would say a heavier band, like your blue band, okay? So we're going to start first off on your back, so we're going to go through the supine scoliosis-specific exercise for your curve type. So you'll lie down on your back, and the knees will be bent. You can either use the ball, placing it in front of your chest with the elbows out wide. You can use your pillow, again folded in front of the chest, elbows out wide, or you can place your hands on your pelvis. Whichever one feels the best, go with that one. I'm going to use the ball. So with both knees bent and the elbows out wide, I want you to think about what it would feel like if your pelvis was completely stationary. Think about the pubic bone being level with the umbilicus, or your belly button. So we're not quite arching the spine. We're not quite going into a flexed or deep imprint position. We're somewhere in between where there's still some space behind the low back. And then once you find that position, think about widening through the elbows. I want you expanding through the right lower back, breathing as wide and as big as you can, bringing air into that right lower back as best as you can. So if you can imagine a balloon kind of inside your right abdomen, and it begins to expand down towards the ground, you take that deep breath in, what would that feel like? So you're expanding wide and big right into that right lower back. So that's the place where you kind of have a little bit of that collapse on the inside of your curve, and you want to expand wide and big into that spot. Think about now the left upper back, where you've got kind of that other collapse area of the spine. So think about breathing wide and big through that left upper back, wide and big through there. Going again, deep breath in, wide and big. So for you, try thinking about those two spots. So that right lower back, the left upper back, breathing wide and big into those spots. When you feel like you have that feeling where you're breathing into those spaces and going wide and big, now I want you to think about elongating your spine. So again, with that stationary pelvis, think about elongating and growing tall. So your spine is kind of growing up towards the head or up towards the cranium as you're taking those deep breaths in. So the belly will rise, the chest will rise, but you're also expanding into that area between the shoulder blades. So everything is kind of growing wide and big. For you, because the right kind of lower ribs are beginning to collapse down towards that right area, that crest, towards the pelvis, I want you to think about really elongating and pulling that rib away from that pelvis as you grow long and tall. And now take those breaths. So with all those things in mind, we're going to grow wide and big with each breath. We're going to expand for 3. So you're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, and then exhale 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do that for a minute. So Alexa, set a 1-minute timer. Elbows wide and big. Elongating your spine. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Good. Keep going at your own pace. Continuing to elongate the spine from within. You want to imagine the belly button kind of drawing down towards the spine and lifting up towards your sternum. Keep going long and tall. Pulling away from the pelvis as you breathe. Alexa, stop. Great. So you got through a minute. Let's put the ball aside or put your pillow aside. Good. I'm going to shift up a little bit so that I can grab my bands. And you can tie your bands to a piece of furniture. Just make sure you're nice and stable. The arms are going to go up overhead. And now with that same feeling of elongating the spine and trying to expand into those areas where you feel collapsed, think about drawing the shoulders down away from the earlobes, and you're going to exhale. You're going to pull the band down towards your sit bones. You're coming right back up. Let's go for 10 of those. Pulling down 2, coming back, pulling 3, riding through the chest as you come down, 4, keep going, 5, good, you're still breathing, 6, with each deep breath in, you're expanding through those areas, 7, going 8, good, 9, and 10. We're going to begin a march. The arms stay the same. You're pulling one leg into tabletop position, lowering that leg right back down, keep the pelvis nice and stable. Other leg comes up, slowly lowering the leg back down. As you alternate from side to side, stay very light through your feet. So you want to imagine that you've got eggshells underneath your feet. Got to make sure that those lower abdominals are kicking in just a little bit more. Let's go for 6. Coming right back up. Still elongating the spine. 7. Good. 8. That's right. 9. 10. You've got 10 more. Go slow and controlled. Focus on stabilizing through the pelvis. You're still expanding wide and big with each inhale. Good. Going 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Let the band go gently. Your hands can either come down by your side, palms can be facing up or facing down, but we're trying not to use our arms too much. You can begin your bridge with your knees bent, or your feet on top of the ball. You can also put your feet on top of your chair. So whichever one feels the most comfortable, you go into that position. You are working on pulling the tailbone underneath and squeezing the glutes. And you're going to begin your lift from there, pressing up, elongating kind of the front of your thighs as you come up. And then exhaling slowly to come down. I want you to think about softening through your sternum first, your middle back, your lower back, and then pelvis is the last thing to touch. And once you get there, try to see if you can find that neutral pelvis position again. And then we'll start again. You're lifting up gently. You're squeezing through the tush. So making sure that the back isn't arching, right? There's a tiniest bit of a tuck there, so you make sure you're using primarily glutes. Exhale, soften through the sternum, coming down one segment at a time. So that's what it looks like on the chair. We're going to go bent knees. You can keep going whichever position you feel most comfortable with. You're coming up. Exhale, slowly coming down. Going for 4. Curling the tailbone under, squeezing through your tush, lifting the pelvis up, widening through the chest. Exhale, slowly coming down. Sternum softens, middle back, lower back, pelvis, coming down. Good. Tucking the tailbone under, squeezing the tush, lifting it up high, widening through the front of the hip flexors, opening up. Exhale, slowly coming down. Good. Let's go for 5 more. Coming up for 5. Squeeze the tush. Hold it there. Exhale. Slowly coming back down. Going again. All the way up. Lift. Take your time. Try to see how smooth and controlled you can make that movement. Let's go for 3 more. Coming up. 3. Slowly coming back down. Good. Going for 2. Exhale, soften through the sternum. Middle back, lower back, pelvis. And here's your last one. Pressing down, lifting up. Good. So now try to see if you can keep the pelvis there nice and neutral. Can you lift one leg up gently, coming up to tabletop without letting the pelvis drop? And then lower that foot right back down. The other leg will lift. Again, you're doing your best not to let the pelvis drop. And you're slowly coming back down. Let's go for 3 more. Lifting up for 3. Coming back down. Other side and lift. Coming back down. 2 more. Lift. Coming back down. Lift. Coming back down. And last one, each side. Coming back down. And lift. Coming back down. Pelvis is back to neutral. Exhale, soften through the sternum. Middle back, lower back, pelvis. Coming back to neutral. You're going to pull both knees in towards your chest. Hold directly behind your knees. Pull those knees in nice and tight. And then gently rock from side to side. Take the opportunity here to take the deepest breath in. Try to fill the belly and that space in the low back. Exhale all the way out. And one more time, deep breath in. And exhale all the way out. Good. So you're going to lower the feet back down towards the ground. I'm going to shift the chair where you can stay where you're at. And from that position, we're going to begin our little bicycles. So your neutral pelvis position, you're going to drive the right knee in towards your chest. Flex the foot. Send the heels straight up towards the ceiling. Begin slowly lowering down. Again, I'm light on my non-moving leg. My pelvis is stable and steady. You're pulling that knee in again. Flex the foot, send the heel straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower it back down. So we're going to aim for 8 more of these. Coming straight up for 8. Lower it back down. Good. 7. Lower it back down. 6. Sending energy out through the heel. Reach far away from you. Good. Coming up. Slowly down. Let's go for 4 more. 4. Exhale as you lower. 3 more. 3. Exhale to lower. 2 more. Exhale to lower. And last one. Exhale to lower. Switch, so now the right knee is bent. The left knee is coming in towards your chest. You're going to flex that foot, send the heel straight up towards the ceiling, stay low, and the right foot, lower the foot down, slow and controlled. So the leg is always kind of hovering off of the ground. You send the heel straight up, send energy out through that heel, reach far out and away before you come right back in. So there's always this sense of length in opposition to your body as you're reaching through the leg and through the top of the head. Sending the heel straight up. Exhale as you lower back down, stay low on the right foot. Coming straight up, flex the heel. Coming back down. Let's go for 5 more. Going 5. Lower back down. Good. Going 4. Lower back down. So we're still utilizing the concepts we had earlier where we're expanding wide and big, right lower back, left upper back, and elongating the spine. Give me 1 more. Slowly coming down. And we're bending the knees in. So you can either keep the knees and the feet together down on the ground, or you can use your ball. So both feet up on top of the ball. We're going to allow our knees to fall gently over to one side. Only take it as far as you can go without pain. When you pull that ball back in, you're trying to bring your pelvis back down towards the ground first. So the pelvis kind of leads the movement. Then the knees fall the other direction. And then the pelvis pulls right back. So your knees fall gently over, only as far as you can go without the lower ribs coming off too much. Exhale, coming right back. And especially when you go over to this right side, try to think about keeping your left ribs, lower ribs grounded as best as you can. So we're not going very far. Let's go 2 more. Coming right back in. And last one. So it's not a big movement. It's more about controlling, using those abdominals, using the pelvis to drive the movement. Good. So we're going to get rid of the ball. And we're gently going to begin turning onto our side. You can grab onto your medium resistance band. And we're just going to wrap our knees with the resistance band. You can make a little X there. And let's use your pillow. And we'll place that underneath your head.
Or a band crossed around the knees. You're going to begin lifting the top leg up towards the ceiling by squeezing your glutes, and then gently lower that top knee down. As you're lifting that knee up and down, think about gently lifting the lower ribs away from the ground and pushing the top hip away from you. So you're creating length through your spine as you lift that top knee and lower back down. Squeeze through the glutes and gently come back down. Continue elongating through your spine and breathing. Lift, lower back down, coming up and right back down. One more. Good. Begin straightening the leg out, flexing the foot. Same idea, you're pulling that top hip away from you so that you create some space on the lower ribs. Lifting the lower ribs away from the ground, begin lifting the top leg up towards the ceiling and gently coming right back down. Again, the muscles working should be on the outer hip or the glutes. Take your time as you come up and lower back down, making sure to stabilize through the spine. There's no movement happening once you fixate your position. Keep elongating through the crown of your head and reaching energy out through the heel. Keep the foot flexed, coming up and gently coming back down. Good. Bend that top knee in gently. You're going to push from your elbow, straighten the legs, and come all the way up to sitting. We're going to switch to the other side, so take your pillow and place it underneath your head. Again, you either have a looped band or you're crossing one of your long bands across your knees to create some tension. So now, again, you're pushing that top hip away from you, creating space so that you're lifting the lower ribs away from the ground, and you're lifting that top knee up and gently coming back down. You're squeezing through the glutes as you lift the knee up and come right back down, stabilizing through your spine, your lower abdominal, so that there's no movement once you fixate your position. Keep going, using your breath. Either inhale or exhale as you come up. See what feels comfortable for you. And let's straighten the top leg, keeping the foot flexed. Again, lifting the lower ribs away from the ground, creating space. Lift the foot up towards the ceiling and gently come right back down. Squeezing through your glutes to lift and lowering right back down. Good. Keep sending energy out through your heel, out through the crown of your head. You're trying to make your whole body as long as possible, especially on that side that's lifting the leg up. Good. Reach out and up and gently come down. Good. Keeping tension out of your head and neck. Good. Bend the top knee. We're going to get rid of the band. And again, we're going to push through our elbow, straighten out the legs, and we're going to get into hands and knees. Use the pillow underneath your abdomen, and your hands are going to go directly underneath your forehead. You're going to pull your spine nice and long towards your hands, and then gently draw your shoulder blades away from your earlobes. Elongate the spine, lift the head up, and drop all the way down. Good. So you're going to lift up, elongate your spine, and drop right back down. We're just getting set up. So you're going to begin here by gently flexing the foot, bending the knee, bringing the heel towards the tush, and coming right back down. You're going to continue to repeat, making sure that there's no change in your spine. So you're not arching the back. If anything, you can squeeze the glutes just a little bit just to make sure that the spine doesn't move. You're bending the knee and straightening back out. Good. Continue elongating your spine as you bend and as you straighten. Think about expanding really wide and big. Good. Bend and flex the other foot. Coming all the way in and right back out. There's energy out through the crown of your head. You're expanding the ribs wide and big. Breathing in, expanding through those areas of collapse. Good. Without moving anything in the low back. Good. So from this position, bring your hands directly next to your chest. Elbows are pinned down by your side. You're going to draw your shoulder blades down your back. Shoulders are away from your earlobes, creating space. Once you're there, press down into the ground. Lift the chest away from the ground just the tiniest bit, focusing mostly on elongating the spine. And then on your exhale, come right back down, slow and controlled. Again, push the elbows down and back, shoulder blades away from your earlobes, press down into your hands. Gently lift the chest and head away from the ground, just a couple of inches. And then on your exhale, begin to lower back down. Good. Press the shoulders down and away. Press into your hands. Lift head and chest. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. Good. Going again. Dropping the shoulders down. Good. Let's push onto our hands, and we're going to push back onto hands and knees. Good. When you set yourself up, go ahead and grab your stool. Maybe a towel or a pillow on top of the stool, and elbows are going to go right on top of that stool. When you set yourself up, elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, or if you choose to do it without the stool, then the hands will be directly underneath the shoulders. Your knees will be directly underneath the hips so that you're in this little box position. And if you had a nice long dowel, that dowel should be touching the back of that head, the area between the shoulder blades and the sacrum. So essentially your spine is in a really nice long line position. Good. From that neutral spine position, gently kick one leg back behind you. The foot is on the ground, and then you're going to gently bring that knee right back in. Your goal is to alternate from side to side, taking one leg back, bending the knee and coming right back in without changing the spine. Keep alternating from side to side, stabilizing your spine, gently lifting the abdominals up and in. Good. Each time you reach the leg away, you're elongating the spine even more, so there's energy out through the foot and out through the crown of your head. You're continuing to keep that space long between your earlobes and the top of the shoulders. Good. Almost there. Reaching out and back. Now you're going to lift and gently come right back down. Take the leg back and out. Now lift. Don't change anything in your spine. And coming right back in. So there's minimal transfer of weight side to side. If I had a bowl of soup resting on your sacrum, there should be no movement there. Good. Reach the foot out and away. Gently lift. And coming right back down. You're only going to lift as high as you can go without changing the spine. So how stable can you make your spine? How neutral can you keep the spine without collapsing the rib cage down? The ribs are always lifting away from the ground as if someone's holding a flame to the lower ribs. Keep going, almost there. And lift. Good job. So now from this position, reach one arm directly forward and gently bring it back in. The idea is the same, is for you not to move the spine. You're trying to stabilize as best as you can. You can play around with your breath here. Sometimes a deep breath in helps, or an exhale to reach. Use your breath as a tool. It's not a rule. Just take your time and make sure the spine stays neutral and stable. Good. Continue to lift the ribs away from the ground. Good. Belly button is up and in. Good. So now you're going to alternate. Opposite arm, opposite leg is going to reach out and away and come back in. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and coming right back in. Our goal is the same. Can we keep your spine neutral? Can we keep it stable? Good. Continue alternating side to side with as minimal weight shift side to side. You're trying to keep the distribution of weight directly underneath you. Good. Keep going. Opposite arm, opposite leg, reach, and gently coming right back in. Opposite arm, opposite leg, reach, and gently coming right back in. Good. So now from this position, separate the knees. You're going to push your stool out and away from you. And you're gently going to lower the head, shoulders, and chest down to the ground. You can keep either your hands underneath your forehead, or if you get any pinching, you can stay in that position. If not, reach the arms directly out in front of you and see if you can drop the chest down towards the ground. From there, you can either stay close, keeping the chest close towards your knees, or you can also walk your hands a little further out and drop the chest down from there. Take a nice deep breath in and exhaling out. Good. Elongate the spine. Lift the chest away from the ground without the collapse. So always lifting, lifting, lifting up and away as if someone's holding a flame underneath your chest. Elongating the spine nice and long, no collapse. Lift up. Good. Chin in. Spine is straight and long. Think about reaching energy out through your sit bones, out through your fingertips, out through the crown of your head. In that neutral position, deep breaths, wide and big through the ribs. Deep breath in. And let's gently come up. Good. So we're going to get ready for the side lying exercise with your pads. You're going to need your towel and your 2 rectangular pads. You'll need a stool and a pillow. Good. So you'll set up one of the rectangular pads underneath the left shoulder. And then you'll set up one of those rectangular pads underneath the low back. And that towel is folded maybe about an inch thick, and that towel is directly underneath the pelvis. Make sure you push that lower lumbar pad close in towards the spine. The one that's on the shoulder is tucked in just ever so slightly, and you're going to reach overhead with the left hand underneath the chair. You're going to begin to gently roll over onto the pads, and then once you do, you're going to shift the pelvis back and go back onto that lower lumbar pad and your towel. Make sure that you have your pillow and place that pillow underneath the head. And now the top leg is going to go on top of that stool and slightly in front of the hip. Good. The top hand will go on top of the chair, and the bottom knee is bent to about 90 degrees or in front of the hip. Elbow staying wide and big. Make sure that the chair is close enough that the elbow is bent to about 45 to 90 degrees. Reach that top or that bottom hand really nice and long. Elongate the spine a little bit longer to create some traction in the spine. And then you're going to drop that top hip down and away from you. That'll create space on the left lower ribs. Good. So once you press that top hip down and away, you're lifting the left lower ribs away from the ground to create that space. Make sure that you're not overly rotating. So you're stacked top ribs over bottom ribs, and then place that hand on top of the chair, elbow out up towards the ceiling and wide. Hips are stacked one on top of the other. Now you're breathing all the way in, expanding wide and big through the rib cage, breathing into those areas where you're collapsed. Good. Really wide and big through the left ribs, right lower back. Good. Think about breathing outward and backward with those left rib cage. If you can imagine that there's a wall behind you, make sure that the right and the left ribs would be touching that wall. Drop that right shoulder away from your earlobe. Good. Keep breathing. Nice big breaths. Good. Take your time. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Deep breath 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Good. Take your time. Breathe at your own pace. Just make sure the breaths are wide and big. Let's gently begin getting up from here. You're bending both knees in. Tuck the elbow in. Push from your hands. And we're gently going to roll and come to a sitting position with our legs crossed in front of us. Our hands on top in the front of the thighs. Elbows are going to go out wide. If that's uncomfortable, you can put your feet out in front of you with the hands underneath the thighs, elbows wide. You just want to think about putting equal weight through your sit bones, growing long and tall through your spine so that you create some traction. You can use your hands to press down. Make sure that the ribs are elongating up towards the ceiling. Your spine is elongating up towards the ceiling, and that you're expanding wide and big through that left rib cage and that right lower back, right? So expanding wide and big through those areas of collapse. Press down through your hands. Elongate the spine, growing long and tall. Equal weight through the sit bones. Take your time. No tension through the head or neck. Good. Let's cross the legs back. And we're going to get onto a kneeling position. So from this position, bring one foot out in front of you. You can use the chair for some support. You're going to tuck the tailbone under just a little bit, just ever so slightly, so that we can open up the hip flexor. When you're in this position, think about drawing the navel in and up. Again, you're still growing long and tall in this position. You should feel a gentle stretch through the front of the thigh. Switch so that the other foot is in front. Draw the tailbone down, pull the navel in and elevate up. Good. Make sure that the ribs are directly stacked over the top of the pelvis. And begin to elongate your spine. Good. Use the chair for support. Gently tuck your toes underneath. You're going to press through that back foot and we're going to come to a standing position. Good. Great job. So you just made it through your exercise program. And make sure that you take the time to consider where you were expanding from. Make sure that you take the time to feel that elongation that you now have in your spine. And the next time you return to this program, Hopefully it'll get easier and easier each time.